Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Jacob Silverblade and today got a new game for you. It's XENO STRIKE. I know the developer of this game somewhat. I've been in contact and basically he said, can you please try the game? And I said absolutely, and I've tried the game and I love it. The fact that this was made by basically a solo developer with him paying for a coder this entire time to be able to code what is in the game, everything else done by him, is, I think, absolutely fantastic. I am going to heavily praise this game because I think it's a really good game, frankly honest. There certainly is tweaks which can be made. Some of the graphic areas, of course, can be always improved. This is one of the things, when you're a solo developer, you can only do so much, right? That's the first thing. The second thing which could be improved is, somewhat the balance of this game, but I can certainly, I can already tell there's certain things being a lot stronger than others, certain things which need to be sorted out when it comes to this game, but what can I say, guys? I mean, his work is cut out for him, and I think he's done a fantastic job. The fact that he has created so many cards, let's go to collection, this is all the collection cards I've collected. And this is quite a bit of different cards. Granted, this is over 4 factions, but let's just go with the green faction. This is quite a bit of cards. This is everything I own. This is the entire collection. And every single one can have up to 4 cards each. Now there's different rarity of these cards. For example, this is slightly more rare than others. You can tell by giving it 12 compared to the regular, where it gets you... Actually, what does it say for the regular? Here we go. It only gets you 4. However, this, gives you 48. I think this one... it's like 48 also. No, this one 200. So if you get the purple symbol, you've got a really quite unique thing, right? Even still, there is so many cards to this game as it is. This only came out Monday. There's a lot of things going on, and it's very interesting. Even with that, I understand there's 4 factions. So it's not as many as Warforged, but I'm gonna be honest, compared to Warforged, this is a lot more starting cards than when it started. And they all do pretty much different things. Some of them can be copies of others. For example, I think this is a deck where they've got, when I say copies of others, for example, you've got this spaceship which has got Reprisal, and I think there's a 4 energy version of it which has also got Reprisal. Does the same thing. There's nothing particularly unique about them between each other. Just one costs one more than the other, but one has more attack than the other, right? There are some things like that, but there's also some really unique other things as well. If we go to the green deck, we've got this solar farm collector, but then that is compared to the cloning, which is then different from efficient logistics, which is then different from supply drop, which is then different from solar satellite. There is a lot of different things going on in these decks, and all of these things are just around, which is creating economy, creating more resources. This is the ramp faction, for example, and hence I say that there's a lot of different things going on here and factoring in. So it is pretty darn cool, and I absolutely love it. So I'm just going to get you to a few games. I'm hoping to find a player, but there's no guarantee of that at the end of the day. And the first control, show you a control deck that I enjoy quite a bit. And this is utilizing the green and the blue faction. So, sure what happened there. I didn't get a face of player here, but that's perfectly fine. We can demonstrate what's going on with the bot. So we've got our main HQ, which is being protected by this basically stack of 6 cards. And the opponent will have a siege characteristic. So for example, let's go to this. This is a troop that the opponent could in theory have. This one's got 0. So this one actually can't attack, as you can see some things, but typically they come up with 1. And this means that if it attacks here, it takes 1 from the siege. That's going to go down, eventually that goes down to 6. Then they attack here, it lives. So even if something has 7 siege, it's still going to take 2 attacks. They will destroy the main base, which is going to make you lose the game. So that's just something to factor in. Right now, we don't have anything. We start on 1 energy. We don't have anything which costs 1, so we're just going to skip our turn. Let's see if the opponent plays something. He plays quite a powerful unit. I actually think this is like kind of a crazy unit because it's just 2NG and its passive is it dies if it doesn't attack, which is always going to attack. There's never a world where it doesn't attack, so it's kind of just doing that. For now, we're just gonna play. But notice, even though it's got all this power, it still only does 1 siege, so I don't have to worry about it as much. So right now, could play that, but then the opponent gets developed up more, so I don't really want him developing up. I want to be able to deal with it. So I'm gonna play this trap card, which is when he deploys a ground unit, it's gonna get minus 400 power. When they go to 0 power, guess what? They die. So he goes for fresh meat, which means nothing in this case. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. But he does get this single attack in. That's fine. We still have the trap card. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play Ground Guardian. So we showed this card earlier. It's going to return to my hand when he dies. That's what Last Wish does when this card destroy play effect, which is turn to your hand. Ground Guardian is going to stop the opponent ground unit. This is a ground unit. You can also get space units. But it's going to stop him from attacking. And then he can't attack, which is perfectly fine. Basically, he's there to get in the way and then keep on getting in the way. Really nice control card. Now he uses a frag grenade, which unfortunately deals with that. Now, because what's been going on here is you're probably wondering why have I drawn so many cards in my hand, and that's because every single time he does damage to here, basically what's happened is that I get to draw a card. Now there's certain things which interact with that, with Reprisal. You might have seen it earlier, but basically you get to deploy that unit for free. Still, this guy doesn't have anything which is particularly, he's really buffed up to this guy's attack, but hasn't buffed up his siege, so he's still only doing 1 siege. But I might get... I'm thinking definitely right now that we just get a supply dropship. And the reason why is because we actually do have something to remove this, because he's really stacked up. And that is the 6 energy drop right here, which is able to turn it back to hand. So we're gonna, just pass our go now. He can take that out because he was given certain equipment. The rocket launcher is able to attack space units. But even still, now we could use Cyword Die, but he's given this guy so many equipment. That's not gonna go away if I just do this. So suddenly, well, no, it doesn't go away, but he has to play it all again. So he's really like behind, and now our trap triggers, right? So even he's got all that, I'm not exactly worried. Now we can start get our Dark Obelisk, which is, we're gonna read what he does, but basically you click on it and then you click a target and it gives it -4 power. So that's gonna go away. And now we've dealt with this, and we've only lost 3 on the shields, so it's really not that bad. For now, I'm just gonna play Hangar Bay, so if I play something later, and we might as well get some damage in. You will get an extra card from that though. So if he's like really running out of cards, you might want to consider not even attacking in this scenario like that. So he's got his thingy. He's he's done something to increase his power. Am I worried? Enough to deal with him. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna play this mine, and then we're gonna play this trap, which is it's quite cool. When opponent attacks, unit attacks, destroy it after unit is attacked. So isn't it? I'd say this is my prediction, but he's gonna attack that. And then he's gonna die. We're gonna secure that so that when he plays another troop with rush, maybe it gets out of the way. And then we're just gonna play this so far. I'm gonna ignore his troop now, and we're just gonna continue to attack his face. We still have his obelisk for later to deal with something else. He's deployed more troops. Chosen not to attack. That's cool. Now we do have an opportunity to use this, which is like a one-sided board wipe, which is actually really quite nice. Basically, your opponents lose 300 power in a turn. They lose 600 power if you expand 4. And expand 4 base 8, is that your economy is 8 or higher, which is this. So we're definitely gonna do that now because he's running out of cards. And I do think we get the Space Guardian thing done. I'm actually not gonna attack at this point. No, I'm not gonna attack because I reckon we can get more cards later. He's only gonna have 2 cards left. So we're just gonna deal with those threats. Because he's only gonna have 1 card next turn. And they get these, get these guys down so they can be in the way. Oh, I don't think I played that. Ah, I didn't play that right. I should have played him first, then played that. Oh well. I'm gonna wait another turn, see what he's got. He played a trap card. So, depends which one you want to do first, right? I'm gonna try and risk it with this. If he does get a trigger, which is kind of like target weak spot, I'd imagine. So we're just gonna play that down here. And he's gonna shoot over there because he does have a card now. I'm not even gonna play him. I'm not gonna even bother. I'm only gonna play him if I have to. I'm not worried about that. We can now get a big, let's say, Wincom card, the Strike Squadron. It isn't the most powerful card in the game, but I think it's actually pretty darn strong, and I quite like it. Now, we've got him down. Question is, do we do something about that? Not particularly. I think I will move it. I will do that, because then we can still kill him next turn. To get that down, and we can't get any more than 7 down, which we do have the maximum of 7, so not worried whatsoever. We even have a universal office, so this just destroys anything it targets, so we could just destroy that, for example. Don't need to worry about it. It doesn't matter. We can now remove him. So this time I'm showing off a different deck, and basically the deck I'm running here is far more of an aggro based deck. Everything's got rush, and the key thing with rush is that it can actually attack immediately. So this is a very low powered card, but here's the unique thing is that, something with 700 power but still only 1 siege still does as much damage to the opponent's face as this thing does. One thing though is able to get rush in, so you're able to get that attack in, so that's going to be pretty nice. So that's the entire playing plan. And basically what we have is, we also have, now we've got all the rush cards here, but we also have a whole bunch of other cards, which is able to deal with the opponent's threats. Now we've mostly gone for space units, so we actually have a lot of units which only target ground units, because, well, it targets everybody ground units, but we don't have to worry about that. So we're going to do this. So we're going to get the little one attack first, before anything bad happens, because get around the trap. But he's still got rush, so he can still keep on attacking. Now this thing doesn't have Space Guardian, so we don't have to worry about that. It's only 300 power, so we can't kill that. But we're just gonna keep on going. And he's on 10 cards right now, so he's actually gonna lose out on a card, as you can imagine. So this is still useful anyway, because it's regardless of wherever they, where they attack or not. Now this is minus 300 power, so we're gonna save this for now. We don't really need to play it. His ground units can't attack our air units, so in fact we just win by default. And yeah, that's an aggro deck, everyone. Right, so what we've got here is a different deck, and basically the key word we're playing off is reprisal. So this forces the opponent, so what happens is the opponent attacks your unit, squad attacks your base, and that can happen up to 6 times, of course, without you eventually dying. But that means we get throughout the game 6 free things which get to go into play, and basically the deck is built around this. There's so many things with reprisal, there's hardly anything which doesn't. This is one of them. And grenades are one of them as well, because it's a bit more controlled based deck. But I think there's 24, probably more, maybe like 32 cards which all have reprisal in this deck. So we're really building into it, and it's really quite a good thing to play against, for example, an aggro deck, because your opponent does aggro and then you get a whole bunch of free stuff. There isn't anything to utilize this against, so we're just going to leave it for now. Right, here we're just going to play... We can always play this next turn, but I guess we can play you next turn. I'm going to play this trap. It's quite a unique trap, but basically your opponent's... When your opponent deploys a unit, it controls 3 or more of them. You know, it's really quite nice. It punishes your opponent in a sense for going wide. So here, I'm just going to go for economy. Not going to worry about that too much. He is building up some guys, which is going to be quite annoying. Mine's 200 power, so there isn't anything which can really deal with that right now. Just don't have to build up. What do you do? Player opponent moves across 5 left. Needs to get 4 shots. No, he's just attacked him. We just got, you know, quite a big guy from it. So what we're gonna do is actually do this. It probably means he's gonna die from the cannon, but we can now use that frag grenade to remove that. And the opponent's playing a faction where if he has multiple of the same guys, it's encouraged for going wide. Basically, multiple of the same guys, they all have the same sort of keywords, they all give each other 100 power for each one of that type. So, you know, it's quite kind of pretty scary stuff. I think when I get this unit down, I should get more spacecraft. So yeah, as I expected, he was to deploy that unit. Here, I'm definitely thinking, yeah, Strike Squadron. This is like a sort of big win con again sort of thing, but I'm gonna just trade here. I'm gonna get rid of that unit as well, stop him from expanding as much. So we got our big unit down now, so we don't have to worry about it as much. So this is the Salt. Salt basically does something when it gets played. So name, I think it does exist. Yeah, well, that's actually got 4. There's a Space Guardian, so we can't play him yet. I think we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do that. And what I'm gonna do is actually gonna attack that guy, because if we kill this guy, you know, if he attacks here, we're actually gonna get more of that replacement. As you can see here, we just got a 4 NG, which is pretty darn nice. And he does have some traps. So I think the best thing to do about traps for certain is just to go, ideally not attack with a big unit first. So I'm gonna attack you first, see what happens. Okay. We're gonna get you attack here then next. Now that's pretty free, so we're gonna get that down. He also got his own reprisal unit, Frontline Company, which is pretty scary stuff, but we're gonna deploy this guy. And now we've got our big spaceship in the air, which is protecting all of our other spaceships. Now, it should be noted. No, he doesn't. Who's got it? You. He's got grounding on him, but he doesn't actually protect from the air. So, what I'm going to demonstrate here is that actually... that, you know, he had an extra siege, but he couldn't get past so-and-so. So, you know, things happen. Now, he only has 6 attack damage. That's quite nice. Good, because otherwise we would have died in Shonen Principle. Granted, does this guy have a Ground Guardian? No. Yeah, I clearly don't have anything with 3 in its name. And so, I might as well get the Strike Squadron. Where is it? There it is. But you can see here, we actually got Ground Guardian units, so you actually had to attack that before it could shoot the base again. So this is the whole point of the deck, so we keep on getting things in the way. Just for attacking base, and then we're able to go for a bit more of the late game units. So here, we're just gonna shoot the main base. No triggers whatsoever. We win. And yeah, everyone, this is XENO Strike. I'm absolutely loving it right now. I think it's a fantastic game. As I say, there's certain things to tweak on. There's some things I've mentioned. Key things here is definitely, I'd say mulligan. I think that's real downside for any sort of control player who wants to go for a bit more of a late game and try to make that work. I understand Paizel's a thing as well, but that's like one key thing to definitely work on. The second key thing I'd say is to make it some sort of system when if going second, you're not as much as a disadvantage going first. I think these are some obvious things from other card games which just need to be transferred over. This is just a general rule, is that this kind of just have to happen. You can't just, yeah, it's quite a big disadvantage, but some sort of system has to be put in place, whether that be some sort of like counterattack card, or if the person going first starts with less cards or whatever. I do not know, but that's something which certainly needs to be sorted out. Anyway, this Saturday, 12 a.m. 12 a.m? No, 12 p.m. 12 p.m. this Saturday, everyone. I'm going to be playing this game, and I'm going to be live streaming it, so please come and watch. I absolutely want to get as many people to this game as I possibly can. I absolutely love it. It's an indie game, which makes it even better because you're actually able to, you know, I'm at least able to talk to the developer of this game, and it's a one-guy team, and I think he's done a brilliant job so far. I don't expect him to perform miracles. I don't expect there to be a balance update every single 1 month or whatever it is. I don't expect these things. But what I do expect, and I feel confident in, is a guy who actually cares about this game. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.